segment is brought to you by Minimizer, Blooming Prairie, Minnesota. Minimizer was formed more than 30 years ago when truck driver Dick Kruckerberg literally invented the poly fender.
These are the first blueprints of my fenders 25 years ago.
Fast forward 3 decades, and Minimizer makes a variety of aftermarket truck products. Blooming Prairie continues to serve as company headquarters because Minimizer is committed to its hometown and the success of the community as a whole.
Good afternoon. We're here with the Where's Mark segment of the Steele County Times and the Dodge County Independent. And I'm Mark, so here I am. And I was wandering through Owatonna, and it was kind of cold and dreary outside, and I came upon this quaint little coffee shop, and come to find out that the owner of this coffee shop also owns Perfect Day Cakes. A perfect name, Perfect Day Cakes. And I came in and here's my mug, Central Park Coffee. At first I thought it was Central Perk Coffee, and I thought maybe you were taking it from the Friends theme, but so we're here and we're going to talk to the owner of Central Park Coffee. And could you introduce yourself to the people?
Hi, I'm Thea.
And Thea, what's your last name?
Farrington.
Thea Farrington. Now I know from talking to you in setup that you're from Forest Lake, which used to be a really little town, but now is a growing metropolis. So, well, how's the adjustment from moving to Forest Lake to here?
Good. The size is about the same from when I moved away from Forest Lake, so it's actually a lot like my home when I lived there.
Now, when you came here to Owatonna, did you have any idea that you were going to buy businesses here?
No.
Okay, what did you come with the idea of doing?
Having a good school for my daughter.
Oh, this is hot chocolate. It's like a hug in a cup. It's absolutely delicious. It's like drinking a chocolate bar. Absolutely incredible. And is this your recipe?
No.
No? Well, whoever it is, get it and keep it because it's really good. But I do know that you not only own Central Park Coffee, but you also own and run
Perfect Day Cakes.
Perfect Day Cakes.
Yeah.
Now, when did you buy them both at the same time, or?
No, actually when my daughter was born 12 years ago, we opened Perfect Day Cakes. 4 years ago, we opened a storefront for Perfect Day Cakes.
I see.
So.
Oh, that's kind of interesting. And so you've owned both of them for how long then?
So Perfect Day Cakes I've owned for 12 years.
Okay.
Central Park Coffee for less than a month.
Less than a month. So I'm sitting in the new place, right? If I would have come last month, I used to live here in Owatonna. So when I'd run down this area. So if I would have come a month ago, I would have never found this place, right?
You would have found it, but it was actually under different ownership. So, and in fact, the owner that used to own it is still on as the store manager here. So she is still working here, and she loves being here and the customers, and
Sure.
she loves the coffee shop. So
Okay, so and she's been a real asset to you starting it up.
Yes, absolutely.
Did you keep the original name? Was it always called Central Park Coffee?
It was, yeah.
So you wanted to keep that pretty much so that the old customers wouldn't kind of be shying away from it. Okay.
Yep.
And just adding a little bit of new things to it. What did you add since you've been here?
I've added my baked goods, so we've slowly transitioned out of their baked goods that they had and added my baked goods to the store.
And do you do all your baking down at Perfect Day Cakes?
I do.
And you're the baker?
I am.
Where's your baker at?
At the bakery?
At the bakery.
I'm at the coffee shop.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, that's right. And you gave me a cup of good chocolate, so I'm not gonna mess with you anymore.
My husband does a lot of our baking too, though. He does our breakfast pastries and donuts. So.
Well, where did you guys get the experience to be baking like this?
I was self-taught.
Self-taught by?
My dad.
Your dad was the baker in the family?
He was the baker in the family. He's a mechanical engineer, but he was a baker.
So he did that as a hobby then?
He did.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And what is his specialty? What's the best thing that? I mean, as a little girl, what did your dad bake that just absolutely made you crazy?
For me, it was my sugar-free pumpkin pie.
Sugar-free.
That's where the baking came from, because I was diagnosed with diabetes when I was young, so he
So
baked
you're-
a lot more.
So your dad adapted his diet and his baking for your illness.
Yep,
Oh, how interesting is
Yeah.
that? And what was his name?
Harvey
Harvey.
Burns.
Harvey Burke, the baker.
Yep.
And so where did your husband learn to bake then?
Me.
From you. So you were a teacher and you taught your husband, you learned from your dad and taught your husband. Ladies out there listening, take some notes. This is pretty incredible. I gotta hand it to you. That's pretty ingenious. And some of the baked goods, my wife and Lori Wagner, who's one of our salespeople, come in all the time, and I've gotten a chance to taste some of your stuff. It's like melt in your mouth good. I have a feeling you're kind of the old school bakers that use a lot of maybe puff pastry and I bet you at Christmas time you make rosettes.
I don't.
You don't make
I
rosettes?
don't.
What do you make that's comparable?
To rosettes, I just do a whole lot of different sugar cookie trees and cookie trees. So
Is that your busy time of year?
Christmas, no, wedding season. So June is my busiest month because of weddings and graduation.
And do you create your own cakes or do you let them kind of have input, a creative interest in it?
I let them have an input, but I actually do a lot better when I get the freedom to do it.
Okay, so your personal creativity is your strong suit.
Yes.
And what is the most challenging cake that you've ever done?
Ooh, topsy-turvy.
Ooh, okay, what's a topsy-turvy?
It is a cake that goes at different angles.
Oh, Leaning Tower of Cake?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was 6 tiers. It was, and
How many times did that fall over before you got it right?
none.
You got it good on the first
Yeah.
time? How far did you lead?
Well, it wasn't, it was probably like that.
Wow.
So, like that.
And that was for a wedding?
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose they had a lot of great photo shots with that, thinking that people knocked the cake over and things like that.
I'm sure they did.
And what was on the inside of that cake?
I don't remember it.
Yeah, what's it-
Cake? Good
yeah,
cake?
Mostly wedding cakes now. Wedding season's coming up here. Is it pretty much just always a vanilla cake or a what do they usually use for weddings?
My most popular cake is the white cake, but I have 33 different cake flavors.
Did you ever try that white cake chocolate? That white cake that tastes like chocolate?
Like a white chocolate
Like
cake?
a white chocolate cake?
I do make a white chocolate cake.
See, so you can get your chocolate on and still have your white wedding
You
cake.
can, yes.
Okay, I hope you're taking notes because this is really good. Honey, I think we're going to get remarried.
I like it.
This is,
I'll do the cake.
yeah, you'll do the cake. Okay, that's great. We have to renew our vows and get a great big white chocolate cake. That would be absolutely incredible. So, what's your that was your hardest cake. What cake are you most proud of?
I don't know. No, I do.
Okay.
And it wasn't a cake, they were cupcakes. And it was cupcakes I made for a little boy that was not able to have certain food colorings. He was allergic to everything. He was on a special diet, and I had to research all these ingredients to see if he could have it. And I was able to make the cake for him and give the mom the cupcakes so he could have cupcakes to bring to school because he'd never been able to bring cupcakes to school, and he was so ecstatic. The mom cried because she's never been able to do it.
So how cool is that life came full circle for your dad,
Yeah.
who developed a special dietary program for you, but so that you could still enjoy bakery.
Yeah.
And then you're doing that same thing, and you're kind of like paying it forward,
I am.
aren't you?
Yeah, and that actually, when I first started the bakery 12 years ago, several recipes I had were sugar-free, just to make sure I could help people that had certain dietary needs.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And
So good sugar-free dietary cakes that you can make and regular. For me, that's a sugarholic. If I come in, I have to have a full boat of sugar. And I come from a baking family. My mom won awards in Wisconsin at the state fair for her pies and for her cakes and her
That's
cheesecake.
amazing.
Yeah, she was very good, but I'll tell you what, this stuff that you're putting out here, that's pretty incredible. I mean, and that's speaking from somebody who's tasted the best of the best in the baking industry. So what other things do you make besides cakes?
Oh, what don't I make?
What doesn't she make?
Cakes, cookies, pies, cheesecakes, cake pops, donuts, Danish, turnovers, bear claws.
And what are your specialties in cake and cupcakes?
And cupcakes, well, we have over 150 cupcake options. So we change every day, so it kind of depends on the day. So,
Now, when you came into Central Park, that's a great idea. Your synergy, as you said, is just absolutely incredible. It just lends itself well, bakery and a coffee shop. How have you been doing so far with that?
good so far.
Yeah.
We have a great team. I wouldn't be able to do it without the amazing people that are at Central Park
Sure.
Coffee. If I didn't have my husband for support, or my daughter for support, the
Sure.
wonderful team here, I think
What kind of hours do you have to put in?
well, we were closed for 2 weeks at Perfect Day Cakes,
Okay.
but now that we're back open, it's gonna be probably a 4 a.m. to 10 p.m.
So when you get up, do you ever look at your husband and wake him up and go, it's time to make the donuts?
He does.
He does?
Because he
Okay.
makes our donuts.
Don't want to
so he
steal any
says it.
slogans, but I mean,
Yep, he says it to me.
okay, tell me you didn't just buy that bakery just to be able to tell you that.
Yeah, he did not. No, and in fact, when we first started, I was doing all our donuts. And he actually saw how much I was working and he asked to help.
And so you both do this full time?
No,
You don't do this full time?
no, he actually has a full-time position at Johnson's.
So he works at Johnston's and he's a baker.
Yes.
Boy, I bet you Johnston's office parties are off the charts as far as their bakery goes, isn't it? No! Why is that?
Because he says they have to pay for it like everyone else. So he's not going to bring out free food.
Well, that's right, but they're getting the best though.
Yes.
They're getting stuff that they know is not set on the
Yes.
not set on the shelf for 3 weeks,
Yes.
you know. Oh, do you guys bake bread too?
We do.
So you have fresh bread here.
Yep.
You have fresh baked goods every day. Here at Central Park, besides the bakery, and I see you have some biscotti and you have some muffins and just wonderful things. Do you have anything other like anything like soup or sandwiches or things like that?
Yep. They have a full menu, a full lunch and breakfast menu. So they do waffles. They were
What time do
actually
you open in the morning?
6:30.
So do you get a pretty good breakfast crowd in here?
They do, yeah.
Right before they go to work, I suppose.
Yep.
And I mean, we're right here in central Owatonna, so you've got
Yes.
Wells Fargo here, you've got Federated
Yeah.
here. I'm sure you get a lot of business people coming in
We do.
for lunch and for dinner. And when I walked in, it kind of reminded me of the old show Friends, because it was that friendly hometown atmosphere. This is the epitome. This place is the epitome of Minnesota friendly. You walk in and you feel like you've known the owner for all of her life. You feel like you just want to sit down with her and have a cup of coffee with her, and it seems like the whole staff is like that. It's just a warm, friendly place to go. And you've got Wi-Fi, obviously, because I see people out there making money in the other room, and their laptops are up and they're making money in your shop and spending it on your bakery goods. So that's good. And what other things do you offer here at Central Park?
So sandwiches and
Sandwiches?
soup.
Do you make the sandwiches?
So yeah, they make the sandwiches. They have different sandwiches every day.
What's your favorite?
I'm gonna say the panini milk
The panini melt. And what's on that?
cheese.
Cheese?
It's an adult grilled cheese sandwich.
Oh, delicious. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to come in and try that. So the panini melt is something that you recommend.
Yes.
But all your sandwiches are good.
Yes.
It's really good. And not only the sandwiches, but then you get an incredible filled dessert with that. Do you have soups here too?
We do.
Oh, okay, now you're talking my language. Outside right now, we're supposed to get hit with a monster snowstorm tonight. It's a perfect time during a snowstorm to just, you know, you can't drive anywhere, just walk downtown. You know that song used to say, downtown,
Yeah.
everything's
Yeah.
going on downtown?
Yep.
Well, downtown has got Central Park, and you can come down for a sandwich and for great home-cooked, fresh bakery. And now tell me about your soups, because I tell you what, on a long day when I've just been out covering stories and I'm cold and I'm frozen, this is the place I want to come to just sit down and put my feet under your table and say, a bowl of soup, I don't care what kind of soup, just give me a huge bowl of soup.
So
Just
I-
put the whole pot in front of me.
See, we could. If you wanted it, we could do it.
So what soups do you have?
Our soups change based on what the staff wants to make. So this week, or today, yesterday, our staff, Emily, made creamy bacon potato soup.
Do you ever make Wisconsin beer cheese soup?
No. Well, we have not. I have not.
Yeah, okay. That, being from Wisconsin, I had to ask. It's by law, I have to ask that everywhere I go, they have Wisconsin cheese soup, so. And so what is your favorite soup then?
Well, so my favorite soup is actually the one from Perfect Day Cakes, which is our chicken wild rice soup, because that's actually my father's recipe.
Now, do you serve soup down there too?
Yep.
And is it at Perfect Day Cakes, you've been there for 12 years, but you have it set up pretty much like this then, correct, with the eat-in or?
There is eat-in, not a lot of well, there's a lot of space for eat-in,
Sure.
but we don't have a lot of eat-in.
What's your capacity down there for seating?
Oh, 20?
20? Well, that's a pretty good little crowd. So
Yeah.
you shuffle them in and shuffle them out.
Yeah.
Same thing here. Have you ever been so overcrowded that you couldn't take anybody?
During our anniversary parties or events we have.
Okay. So down here is a perfect place to come, let's say for the Wager Band Festival that's here in Owatonna. That's absolutely incredible, and it happens right here in the park. And so many other great Owatonna activities going on here.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful to see that you've expanded. You just didn't sit on your laurels over there,
Yeah.
but you started to expand and then reach out to the community.
Yeah. I love our downtown.
I do too. It's just it reminds me of what 1950s downtown, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Just everybody's like friendly and everybody just says hello when they pass you on the streets and things like that. It's quite a shock for somebody who's lived in Chicago and Los Angeles and I go to a bistro in Los Angeles and I pay like $18 for this. And
I need to
it's-
charge more.
and it's 10 times worse
Oh.
than anything I've ever tasted. This is, I'm not kidding you, this is the best cup of cocoa I think I've ever had.
Thank you.
This kind of reminds me of Tim Allen in the Santa Claus, where he tastes that cocoa for the first time and he goes, that really is good. She goes, shaken, not stirred. So, I don't know how you make this, but it's just incredible. And of course you've got chai lattes here and any kind of coffee that you can think of being
Yeah.
here. And what do you do to get out into the community here? What do you do to make yourself more visible here?
Well, I host community events. I take on
Such
a
as?
so every year, at Perfect Day Cakes, we do a roundup program.
Okay.
So that's where we ask people to round their change up to the nearest dollar, and then we donate that money back to the community. I'm in a part of several, well, I was until purchasing Central Park Coffee,
Sure.
several networking groups,
Okay.
organizations. The largest one is Owatonna Business Partners. They do a lot of the like downtown community events.
Right.
And I'm a part of that. I'm helping plan the communities for that.
Well, that's wonderful.
I volunteer, I do fundraisers for the schools and I donate to, I donate to a lot of fundraisers where I had to actually put a donation form on my website because I actually had to start tracking.
Where was it?
Yeah. So,
And your daughter goes to Owatonna?
she does.
And what she took here, she's sixth grade. We had our last one in high school when I was a senior, and so we're gonna be empty nesters, so I can see us coming in here too, so quite a lot in our retirement years, I love that. This is a hidden gem
It is.
in the middle of lower central Minnesota.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of you guys
I will
for
check.
doing this and for
Okay.
sharing your vision with us,
Okay.
and sharing your
I'm sorry, I have to
recipes.
go way backwards.
These aren't the newfangled recipes, these are old school recipes that have been passed down from generation to generation. Wonderful, wonderful place to eat and a place to fellowship. So I thank you for your time today, Thea,
Thank you.
and I appreciate your spirit and what you're doing here at Central Park. Central Park.
Oh.
And
then
what's
what's
your
your
associate's name?
That is Grace.
Grace. Grace, what's your last name?
Valen.
Valen?
Yes.
V-A-Y-L-E-N?
V-A-L-E-N.
V-A-L-E-N. Okay, I had to add that for the picture.
Oh.
And
Okay,
thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
That was an awesome photo shoot.
Of
we had.
course.
We apologize because Grace didn't comb her hair before we had her. Just teasing you.
Alright. White chocolate raspberry syrup.
All right. Well, again, it's been a pleasure, and we thank you for coming to Owatonna and sharing with
Takes
us.
so much
all
thought
the-
because I'm used
all
to
the
just knowing
beauties
exactly
that
what
you
butter
have.
is. Alright.
And,
Anything
wish
else
you
for you?
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
Two
Remember,
cake
this is the
pops.
Steele County Times
Alright.
Where's Mark segment.
This is
If you
really
mention
good for me.
this
Very good
to
for me
our
to
office, we will give you
be
$5 off your
exploring.
next year's
Yeah. Okay.
subscription. Thanks. Be careful out there.
Somewhere over the rainbow way, up high in the land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow skies are blue. That you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me. Where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney